Today's math notes is about writing equations using the 5D process. Hopefully you remember the 5D process from last year. But to recap, the 5D process is an organized method to help write equations and solve problems. And the D stand for describe and draw, define, do, decide, and declare. And an example, we're going to work it out below. So the describe and draw section, what you're trying to do is just pull the important information out of the word problem. The define section is where we're going to organize all of our pieces and parts that we're looking for. The do, we're going to do some math in that section. Decide, what are we looking for? And the declare is our complete answer in a complete sentence. So this problem right here says the base of a rectangle is 13 centimeters longer than the height. If the perimeter is 58 centimeters, find the base and the height of the rectangle. So in our describe and draw section, the first thing we're going to say is, okay, so we have a rectangle, and we're looking at perimeter. We know that the base is 13 more than the height. Okay, and we know the perimeter is 58. So we know the perimeter is 58. So we write down the important pieces of information. And then we should also, because we're talking about a rectangle, draw one. We know that this is going to be our height. And then we know our height plus 13 is going to equal our base. And then in the middle, we can say, okay, I know the perimeter is 58. So it just gives me a visual of what I'm actually looking for. So then we go down to the table, and the table is where we start entering in some of our information. So we know that the height is going to be our trial, because that's the one we know the least about. Our base is going to be that height plus 13. And then we're looking for perimeter. So in order to find perimeter, we could say we add up all the sides, or we could do it as that we're going to multiply 2 times the height plus 2 times the base. 2 times the height plus 2 times the base. And then we're trying to decide if it's 58. Okay. So the first trial we're going to do is 10. So we're going to pick 10, and then we're going to go through the whole entire problem and see if 10 works. So we chose 10. We write it down underneath the height. To find the base, we're going to do 10 plus 13, which is going to give us 23. We want to make sure we wrote down exactly what we did. So if we refer back to this and go, oh, how did I solve that problem? You know exactly what the process was. And then to find the perimeter, we're going to do 2 times 10, because it's the height, plus 2 times 23. And that's going to equal, so 20 plus 43 is 66. So the last step in the table is to then go and look at and go, okay, here's 58. I ended up with 66. That answer is actually too big. Now I have to go back and do another trial. So then you would choose something, because this is too big, you would choose something less than 10 to help you out. Okay? But say you don't want to do it that way. Say you want to a little bit more of an effective method, you can do this by solving an equation. So instead of plugging numbers in, we're going to use variables. So we're going to let x represent our height, because it's our variable. And then we are going to, for our base, we're going to say it's x plus 13. And then we follow right along. So we plugged in 2 times the height, which would be 2x, plus we're going to do 2 times the base, which is 2 groups of x plus 13. And that's now our expression for our equation. So now that we have that expression, we can just set it equal to 58 and solve. So we have 2x plus 2 groups of x plus 13 equals 58. So then we use our solving equation skills. We're going to get 2x plus 2x plus 26, because I distributed the 2 through, equals 58. I'm going to combine these to get 4x plus 26 equals 58. Subtract 26 from both sides, creating a 0 pair. So then I get 4x equals 32. Now I divide both sides by 4 to get my giant 1. And then I get x equals 8. So that tells me right over here that x is 8, or the height is 8 centimeters. 8 plus 13, which is 21. So the base is 21 centimeters. So then I have one last step to make sure I finish up doing. I need to make sure to declare. Okay, so I would say the height is 8 centimeters and the base is 21 centimeters. Okay. I think there was a problem just like this in your homework for 113. So just make sure that if you weren't sure how to solve it, that you fix it.